Alright guys, hope you're doing well. So yeah, I wanted to make this video because there's this sort of a new kid on the block, I guess, when it comes to healing the body and regeneration. I'm pretty sure at one point, if you are in the health community, you're probably going to start hearing about this new version of phototherapy at some point. I will make a video more in depth about this phototherapy, but for this particular video I wanted to talk about EMF sensitivity and some of the improvements that I'm seeing with people who have got EMF sensitivity. So I basically came across these patches. I should say straight away that although they're called patches, they're non-transdermal. So basically that means that there's nothing that actually goes into the body. It's using light, basically. Our bodies emit infrared light, and this new way of healing basically reflects that infrared light back into the body at a very, very specific frequency to stimulate various peptides in the body to increase, and when these increase, depending on which peptide you actually increase, you can get sort of rapid healing. Just to go off on a quick tangent, I was introduced to these patches quite a few months back, to be honest, and I wasn't that interested in the beginning. In all honesty, I'd heard a lot about various different things in the past, and I didn't want to mess around, so to speak, with my body because I was feeling good. But in the end, I ended up trying these X39 stem cell patches, and I was quite skeptical in the beginning, but pretty soon after wearing them, I personally started to experience crazy deep healing. I need to say right off the bat, this doesn't tend to happen to everyone. I've noticed around 80% of people will get quite rapid healing. There's a small percentage that don't. However, many studies and research is showing that it can take 1, 2, 3 months to feel some of the improvements, and then a small subset of people seem to be very stimulated to these patches. But I think it's a little bit like supplementation, when people are too stimulated to supplements, and it just takes a little while to sort of get used to them. But this particular one, the X39, and we'll talk about how it can improve EMF sensitivity in a while when you combine it with another one. But basically, this X39, it increases a copper peptide called GHKCU, which basically is a peptide that has a really strong affinity to copper. So I actually ended up going through like a copper dump, but without all of the extreme copper detoxification symptoms that I've had in the past with copper dumps. I could feel all of the symptoms, but it was hard to explain. It was much more mild. Obviously, part of that reason is because I'm way more healthier, but a big part of the reason is that the copper was already bound to something. So this peptide basically, went around the body, in cells mainly, because the peptide is stimulated inside cells. The peptide increases, binds onto copper, and then copper is made much more available. Now, the interesting thing about this particular peptide is that this peptide actually stimulates our own body's stem cell production. So, if the stem cells get activated, which they do, there's research and patents to prove it, people can get like really, really extreme rapid healing. My breathing improved. I didn't even think it was a problem, but my breathing improved massively. My energy levels improved, even though I had good energy levels. My recovery rate after exercise improved dramatically. Sleep improved. A feeling of well-being that I've not experienced before. I personally think that this is similar to what Dr. Wilson calls development. I think that he has healed his body to such an extent that the GHK-Cu is naturally increased in the body, copper is much more available, and then that goes on to stimulate the stem cells. But this particular product does that, pretty much instantly. I do have quite a lot of clients taking these now, to be honest. The reason why I haven't uploaded a video on them yet is because I wanted to get the feedback. The feedback is similar to what I said before. Around 80% of my clients experience tremendous results very, very quick. I've had some clients that have been on the program 2-3 years and, ready to give up, struggling, feel like they're stuck. And that's how it can sometimes feel when you're doing the program, because of how challenging it can be to heal the body and to remove toxins and to regenerate the body. And, quite a few people have completely done a 180 and, are really, really grateful and happy that they've come across this new way of healing the body. For me personally, I will be taking these probably maybe for the rest of my life, who knows, similar to the program, because I want to make sure that my stem cells are high. When we age, our stem cell production decreases, and that's one of the reasons of our decline in health. And if you can, increase that stem cell production in a nice natural way like this one, then that's going to improve your longevity. It's going to improve how you age, your energy when you age. And I personally think that it works really well alongside the program. Some of the hair tests that have come back, people have gone into hill patterns, their NAK ratio has balanced out, their calcium shell's balanced out. It's pretty amazing to see. And like I say, the improvements in my health, I would say my level of health before was great, but it feels like I've gone up 10 notches in just energy. It's a strange one, really, because you can feel your body regenerating. I can feel my organs regenerating, and this is one of the stages of the development program of the mineral balancing program, is that the initial stage is sort of detoxification, remineralization, renourishment, and the second stage is sort of keeping that up, and some basic, organ regeneration. But the main aim, after decades, is full regeneration of organs and stuff, and you can't do that without an increased production of stem cells. So the fact that this product increases that basically on tap is pretty astounding. Now, there's been thousands and thousands of testimonials now from people talking about how, that people are saying that they've been cured of various different things. I saw one the other day, prostate cancer, severe PTSD, severe depression, people's wounds that have been, maybe a leg break from years ago that's been causing people's problems of sort of vanishing. Skin is improved, energy's improved, sleep issues. So it's really an amazing product, and I'm definitely going to be introducing it into our programs. But yeah, like I say, similar to the nutritional balancing program, to be honest, is when people begin very early on, you get quite a large subset that have amazing improvements very early on. You get a smaller subset that don't actually feel anything initially. But in my opinion, and just like we can prove on the mineral balancing program, that there is something going off underneath, and then after a while, We have patterns like gathering firewood, 4 lows pattern, etc., which is sort of like indicators that the body is actually regenerating itself deep down. And I personally think that the same thing happens on these patches. And time and time again, we've seen people that's on them for 3 months, 4 months, they've not felt anything, and then boom, all of a sudden the depression lifts. All of a sudden their energy lifts. So I think the body, to some extent, has to go through some healing on certain levels in order for it to prepare itself for the symptoms that people probably want to get rid of. But it just takes a little bit of time. But one of the amazing things that I've come across, and by the way, if you are interested in getting these patches, there's going to be a link in the description. I am going to link to a couple of Telegram groups that you can go and look at testimonials. There's thousands of people in there. And if you do end up signing up, or if you do end up using them, give me a shout. We've got sort of like a smaller Telegram group just for people that are wearing them at the moment, just to give advice and to help people out. But we're getting consistent messages in there of how people are improving. The funny thing about it, really, and I do chuckle to myself, is I've probably got more testimonials in the past 2 months from telling people about these than I have on the program. That doesn't really diminish the program in any way. It's just that the program takes quite a long time, but I do think that this particular procedure can speed things up rapidly in a safe way using our own stem cells. I mean, the best, if you really want to heal the body well, there's obviously a lot of factors involved, but stem cells are like, the philosopher's stone of healing. They're real gems, the real powerhouses, because they can go around the body and basically heal and replace, cells that are damaged, they are quite amazing things. There were some studies done how they actually found the GHKCU peptide, or the GHK peptide, by a scientist called Lauren Pickart. And basically what they did is they got liver cells from an 80-year-old and put them into the blood of like a 20-year-old, and they found out that the liver cells ended up regenerating themselves to a 20-year-old again. And they ended up figuring out that the reason for this is that the 20-year-old's blood had a higher concentration of a peptide called GHKCU, and that GHKCU peptide then obviously goes on to stimulate your stem cells. So these patches, in the people that they work for, and I do think they work in the vast majority of people if people just stick to them for long enough, you basically get you basically end up aging backwards on one level, and you start getting really deep regeneration of the organs. And one of the really amazing things is that the GHKCU peptide is able to turn a third of our genes back to a younger state. Now that is, a borderline miracle thing. But what we're finding, interestingly, is that if you combine the X39 with the another product called the X49, this one here, then people are actually having miraculous recoveries from EMF sensitivity, which is pretty astounding because EMF sensitivity is so challenging to heal. And I've always said that one of the main reasons is because of things like copper toxicity that's been built up in the cells, and it's unbalanced, it's not available, building up, and it's basically causing the person to become an antenna with copper. It's just out of balance. Now, early research is showing, and this is astounding, early research is showing that the X39 and the X49 can basically heal people from EMF sensitivity. Now, one of the strong hypotheses of the reasons why is that the X39 will increase a copper peptide called GHK-Cu, and the X49 increases another copper peptide, which is kind of like the daughter peptide to GHK-Cu. And what we think is happening is because copper is being made so available by these two patches, it basically creates a network of copper within the cells, around the skin, and it basically creates a Faraday cage on the body. So if anyone doesn't know what a Faraday cage is, basically if you put, for example, a cell phone inside of like an aluminium can and put the lid on the can, the chances are you won't be able to call that cell phone because it's basically in a Faraday cage. It's surrounded by metal, and when the EMF frequencies hit that metal, when it can be any highly conductive metal, basically it cancels itself out, and whatever's inside of that does not get affected. It's a little bit like if a lightning strike hits, say, an aeroplane. It cancels itself out because of the people are surrounded by a metal casing, and we think that's what's happening with this. It's really mind-blowingly astounding. So like I say, in many ways this is a bit of a miracle product in my opinion. People don't feel amazing life-changing effects straight away, but there is a lot of people that do. But I wouldn't get too hung up on the fact that if you don't. I do think that it might take a little bit of time, and that's what we are seeing, around 3 months or so for things to really start ramping up production. So if you're interested, I'm going to put a retail link in the description. There is an opportunity for people to become distributors. So if you do want to become a distributor, if you feel like you want to sort of give them out to other people, then the best thing to do is just send me an email, lewis@deephealingspace.com, and I can give you a link to sign up to that. But if you do sign up, please let me know using that same email, lewis@deephealingspace.com, because I do want to get you into the group. I want to make sure, I want to get testimonials, I want to get research, HTMA research, this, that, and the other. So, I am really excited about these patches, to be honest. It's a brand new way of healing. There are some other amazing, the glutathione one, for example, is also amazing. Basically, glutathione is our body's natural detoxifier. Coffee enemas do increase glutathione somewhat, but it's mainly in the liver. But this particular patch increases glutathione, over the whole body. And you wear this patch and you basically just start detoxing after a few hours. It's astounding. And the thing is with glutathione, it has a very short half-life of around 7 minutes. So every 7 minutes, the amount of glutathione in your body will decrease by half. Which means that if you do end up going through a detox reaction and it's too intense, if you take off the patch pretty quickly, you will, it'll reduce. There's a lot of other stuff in there. I am going to be talking about these more because they are really, really good. I'm pretty mind blown at some of the things that I'm hearing from them, some of the things that they're doing to me, and I've been healing for 11 years. Look, it's 2022 now. There's obviously going to be new technology coming out. You can't just think that you've got one package and that's going to keep you going for the rest of your life. Technology is growing at an exponential rate, and as long as you can sift out the wheat from the chaff, I do believe that there are things out there that's going to speed up the whole process of healing, and I do genuinely believe this is definitely one of them. So that's that. Hopefully I've given you enough information to wet your feet, and if you have any questions, then don't hesitate to send me an email. I might be, well, I don't know. I might be offline a little bit in the next few weeks. I do have a baby on the way, and he's due to be born in, well, maybe now. His due date's at August 27th. So we're having a baby boy. We're going to call him Eden. So I'm really happy about that, and hopefully he's going to be making an appearance on the YouTube channel at some point. So thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, all the links will be in the description. Ciao.